Okay. Y'all just need to see this for yourself. This is a short clip. Watch how these ladies are acting.
I'm not constantly trying to say that. Are. But that's what my reality is. No, it's not. It's not taking away from anyone. I'm not comparing myself to Bryn. I'm not comparing myself to Sai. Because you had a perfectly fine life. How do you know that? Did you live my life, Erin? Did you live my life, Erin? Your life was so incredibly hard when you lived with your rich uncle. I said I lived with my uncle. Did I say he was incredibly rich? Oh my God. Did I? You know what your new name should be? It should be Queen of Assumption because you just assume about everyone. Good one. Bryn was lying. It's like, what the heck is wrong with you?
Get
I'm
a
about to jump
Jessa.
off the boat. I don't understand where this is coming from. Why does it bother you so much? Because it's so inauthentic. It just seems like Erin is projecting her privilege onto me. I'm not
Exactly,
going to try to
Jessa.
justify my to you guys, okay? You don't have to. Okay, so then why do you care? Did you grow up in a horrible situation? Was it so hard? You don't know where I came from, and we don't. You don't. We don't. Okay, so then stop. You didn't ask me that question. You didn't ask me that question. Even if you just said, how never direct Jessel, even when I'm like,
Pause. That same side as Yum is the same one wondering why people aren't open up to her.
I want to know more about you. Your story is about your parents coming from Kenya. That's Is great. That not part of my story? No, we want to know about you. Jessel. It's that simple. It's that simple. Just because I can't get the point across the same shit. Ooh, Brooklyn's in the house in Anguilla. The vein popped out. I'm like, are we on a boat or are we in the bodega? Something's going down. I'm going to just grab my snacks and get out of here. I wish I had a little bit of science. My parents to me is my story. I'm sorry. But it's not your story, my love. It's not your story. But it's part of how I grew up, okay? Any generation, people share a story of their family. You
Thank you,
are
Eva.
who you came from. And it's so shocking that these intelligent women, they don't see that. It's annoying and actually quite embarrassing.
Thank
I'm
you,
done with this
Eva.
conversation because I don't care. Okay, well, I don't care that you don't care. Okay. Are we cool? Okay. It's totally fine. I'm having a great time on the water. Me too. I just drove this not yacht. It's
Not yet. Jessa for the win. Hey y'all, it's your captain for All Things Creative. Coming back at you with the RHONY Reboot episode 10 recap, reaction, and just takeaways. So, thank you for all of you who are joining for the first time. Please make sure to like and subscribe and share as well. And if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. Let's get it started. So, first things first, since the episode was irritating again, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the reunion seating chart, which came out because the reunion was actually filmed on Thursday. And it's no surprise that Sai's on the end. She was getting on my nerves basically all season. But it was a surprise that Jenna didn't get one of the first chairs next to Andy. But Jessel totally deserves it. And with all the mess that Aaron pulled, she deserved to be in the hot seat. So let's get into that episode. What happened? I had a clip at the beginning. It basically shows you how the episode starts off with the girls waking up and Aaron and Bryn just rehashing what's going on with everybody, and specifically Jessel trying to share her life stories because the girl had asked her to share, and they kept asking her more and more questions about it, and basically um, denying what she was saying and invalidating her experiences of struggle. Super annoying. And like you saw in the clip, I think what Erin is doing is projecting her privilege onto Jessel because it's just weird at this point what they're doing with saying that people aren't sharing, but then when they share, being so nasty and so rude about it. So that the girls basically get on the boat that you guys saw. Jessel and Bryn and Uba at first just talk about how Jessel felt about everybody going after her. Jessel drives the boat, and then when she comes back from driving the boat, they have that confrontation that you just saw. Then Jessel eats them up. Ends with the not yet comment that got Side to be quiet, which was funny. And then they basically go out to dinner. They share embarrassing stories. And Erin does not share an embarrassing story. She basically says her most embarrassing story is her child crying on the plane, while everybody else shares stories about, like, you know, pooping on themselves or like falling down in places. So it's funny how they didn't get on Erin for not opening up with a true embarrassing story, but we all know they hypocrites, so it is what it is. Then this is where the other drama of the story that's gonna be told next week kind of starts because Uba leaves her phone in a taxi. Erin gets it from the driver and decides to keep Uba's phone because apparently Uba had thrown her in the pool earlier in the vacation. I think it was like a day ago. And then Sai and Erin kind of tag team to get Uba thrown in the pool. So I guess in Uba's mind, she's thinking they're even, the pranking is done, but Erin keeps her phone. Apparently, throughout the night, she couldn't find it. So then Jessel tries to help her find the phone. Come find out, Erin still had it. While I guess Uba needed to call her family and all these things, so Uba gets very upset about not having her phone. So in the morning, she's ignoring Erin, and Erin's getting all types of like annoyed and saying things how she feels unsafe, which is very triggering. It's like she's going into microaggression territory there, when it was literally just ignoring her. But they get to the confrontation where I guess Uba says Aaron's name because she's talking about the girls leaving, like, oh, Aaron was here. But Aaron tries to use this as a point of confrontation verbally, thinking that, she's going to use her mean girl powers on Uba. But Uba has broken free of the mean girl spell, especially because, her phone had been taken. So she stands up to Aaron and basically does the infamous snatching of Aaron's glasses off her face, and it's the whole to be continued. All right, so Queen of the episode is totally Jessel. Again, she was able to stand up for herself while these girls are being hypocrites and saying how people aren't sharing while tearing out, each other and her life story. It's so interesting how Uba in the confessional said that. Like, it seems like there is an agenda because, like, whenever Jenna or even, like I said, Erin, says things that aren't necessarily that, deep or forthcoming, they're fine with it. But just so literally, she outlined almost like her whole family tree, tracing back from Kenya to London to where she's at now with her, immediate family in America, and they were still not accepting it, so just so it was good to, stand up for herself and just, say her story, and clarify that she's not comparing herself to Brennan Side, which Erin is weirdly, saying in her head, and to Bryn, which again, I think it's part of her ploy to make Jessel, seem like the problem when really the problem is in Erin's own mind. And I think Jessel's right that she is projecting a lot. Uba, she has my heart this episode because, again, she was the voice of reason. Even she was talking about how, like, talking about your family is part of your life story. It's so true. Like, your parents totally affect you. Like, again, when Jenna was talking about her mother, being diagnosed with Asperger's and being on the spectrum, they didn't question, that being part of Jenna's story. But when Jessel talks about her parents, they're telling her that's not part of your story. It's so infuriating. So it's very um, apparent that Uba's the voice of the people, and also saying that the women are being annoying and just seemingly unintelligent and having an agenda with Jessel. So shout out to Uba. I saw people online also saying that it's also giving xenophobia because Jessel's situation with maybe getting like the physical support of her mother with the taking care of the twins right now. It's a calm situation. That doesn't mean that she necessarily got resources from her parents, and because there's like the cultural difference with the Kenyan influence and like the British influence, they're intentionally not understanding Jessel. They're blaming it on her accent, so a lot of people online are saying that it's screaming xenophobia. And I think Uba, as someone who, again, is like very level headed, very much the voice of reason, is seeing the, you know, hypocrisy and the deeper, more sinister things for what they are. So thank you, Uba. It was naughty this episode. It'll have to be Bryn. She was flirting with Jenna the whole time. I don't know how I feel about, you know, this act that Bryn is putting on because she's been online, like attacking people and standing up for herself about not being a sugar baby. But the whole episode, she's making all these jokes, about wanting to marry rich and being a gold digger, and plotting on Jenna and giving advice about fellatio and simulating fellatio at the restaurant table. It's like, I know she wants to have an impact since she's on TV, but she's not choosing wisely, the image she wants out because I think now she's regretting all the overtly sexual and kind of crude things she's been doing since she's getting, backlash for it online. She's blaming it on the editors, but the editors didn't make you simulate fellatio on a straw, or the editors didn't make you put your mouth on Jenna's finger, So again, poor Bryn. I think she's probably regretting her antics. They were somewhat funny sometimes, but it's very sad to see someone who's like, again, so accomplished, so smart, now having to defend herself online and trying to like blame editors when really she's doing all these things to herself as we saw on the episode. So hopefully, she looks back on the season and gets, her sense of what she wants to portray and what she wants to be in the future. I think it's a good life lesson to everybody. It's like you get back what you put out into the world. Like, as much as you can say, people can, like lie and edit and things like that. This is like a camera showing, what you're doing. So be careful what you do and say, because if you don't want it to get back to other people or you don't want negative things reflected back on you, you definitely have to, you know, put out positive things so you get back positive. And who's in timeout, definitely Sigh. Oh, you saw her yelling at Jessel in the beginning of the clip. And again, a lot of her attitude is just a little bit insufferable. Sometimes she can be very vulnerable, like she was last week, opening up about, her mother struggled with addiction. And again, she does have a successful business with her, influencing and all of that. And I wish she would just lean more into the positive as well, but she just can't help herself with the mean girl antics. It's really mainly her and Aaron, more and more so. And even with Jessel, you saw the main tag team was her and Aaron against Jessel. And Bryn sometimes joins in, but Bryn sometimes is on the receiving end of their antics. So I really hope that Sai just stops being so negative. And like, if she wants people to open up, you don't get people to open up by yelling at them and judging them and like nitpicking. It's just not gonna work. So she just needs to calm down, let things happen naturally. Maybe she's trying to play producer, but it's giving bullied, not producer. So let's see. Predictions, obviously the girl's gonna get more into Glasses Gate, and Uba's gonna stand up to Aaron. Also, looks like Jessel's gonna jump in because there's something interesting she said in one of like the clips in the car, saying she has a whole arsenal on one of them. I don't know if she's talking about Aaron or Sai, but it looks like it's gonna be on like Donkey Kong between Uba and Jessel versus Aaron and Sai. But hopefully by the end of the trip, they're gonna reconcile because we all know peace is the best thing, and if they can find a path forward and forgive each other, help each other grow, that would be the best scenario. But of course, the drama is good for what it is, but the toxicity and just negative undertones definitely still getting under my skin. I think a lot of the viewers would like to see more fun, less negativity, nitpicking, xenophobia, trauma dumping, all that stuff. They have to, find a little better balance. Hopefully, you like this review. Please share your opinions in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. And remember, you are the master of your fate and you are the captain of your soul.